Alright, listen up. The bullshit party's over. You called for truth, and here it is. No more fluffy clouds. This is about wiring. Your wiring. The fucking code that runs your reality. You know those thoughts that feel like old scratchy records? The ones that say, I can't, or they're wrong, or maybe later. Those are what we call the platitudes of beingness. They're not your thoughts. They're mental parasites. And we're about to perform an exorcism. Let's talk about the first one, polarization. This us versus them bullshit. It's a fucking trapdoor in your mind. Think of your brain like a grand cosmic radio. It can tune into countless stations, stations of compassion, of genius, of pure fucking joy. But when you're locked into polarization, you're jamming the dial on one shitty, static-filled AM station that only plays anger and blame. It's like having a starship and choosing to power it with a fucking potato battery. You're smarter than that. Your mind already knows how to change the channel. Remember the time you were really pissed at someone, and then you saw them being kind to a child or an animal, and just for a second your whole perspective shifted. That was you, accidentally, tuning the dial. That was your innate gift of perceptual flexibility flicking to life. Now, imagine doing that on purpose. Imagine running your inner world, not on the petty drama of tribes, but on the coherent signal of the unified field. The science of this is simple. Your amygdala, the fear center, it literally shrinks with mindfulness, while your prefrontal cortex, the seat of higher reasoning, thickens. You're not just feeling better, you're upgrading your biological hardware. Now the second little fucker, self-doubt. This is the one that really pisses me off. You, a fucking universe of infinite potential, thinking you're not enough. It's like a sun thinking it needs to apologize for its light. You already have this power. You use it every time you have a gut feeling and follow it. Every time you know who's calling before you look at your phone. Every time a solution to a problem pops into your head in the shower. That's your intuition. That's your goddamn spiritual gift already online. It's not some special thing for special people in special robes. It's your birthright. Your nervous system is a quantum antenna, and self-doubt is you wrapping that antenna in tinfoil and wondering why you can't get a clear signal. The moment you drop the story of not enough, the signal clears instantly. And there's the addiction to distraction. This is the modern day spiritual plague. You're numbing out, scrolling, consuming, because facing the sheer fucking magnitude of your own soul is terrifying. I get it. But it's like taking aspirin for a brain tumour. It doesn't fix the problem. It just makes you forget the pain for a bit. And your soul is screaming for the real medicine. You know that feeling of restless unease? That nagging sense that there must be more. That's not a problem. That's your spiritual immune system, trying to fight off the infection of mediocrity. That is a healing transmission trying to come online. And every time you choose to sit in silence for 5 minutes instead of picking up your phone, you're accepting that download. You're activating a part of your brain's default mode network that literally rewires you for creativity and insight. And of course the fear of judgment. You're worried they'll think you're crazy. Let me be blunt. Of course they will. A person who's asleep will always be annoyed by the one who's awake and making noise. But their judgment is a reflection of their own limitation, not yours. It's a projection of their own fear. You fearing judgment is like a hawk worrying about the opinion of sparrows. They can't fly where you fly. They can't see what you see. And the beautiful scientific truth is, when you stop contorting your energy to fit their small boxes, your own vibrational frequency rises. You become a coherent signal. And by the laws of resonance, you stop attracting the chaotic noise. They'll either vibrate out of your reality, or they'll be forced to look at their own shit and maybe, just maybe, start to wake up themselves. So how do we interrupt this? We use a little linguistic jujitsu. We pace and we lead. It works like this. Your conscious mind is a stubborn mule. If you try to drag it, it digs its heels in. So you don't drag it, you walk beside it. You acknowledge exactly where it's at. That's pacing. You feel that fear. That, I'm not sure about this feeling. Good. Acknowledge it. Yeah, this feels weird as hell. That's pacing the current state. You're validating the mule. And then, when you're walking together, you gently turn. That's leading. And isn't it interesting that as you feel that uncertainty, your breathing can already begin to deepen on its own? And a part of you deep inside already knows what it feels like to be free of that weight. You link their current bullshit belief to the desired outcome. You want to feel peace, don't you? And that very desire for peace is the first whisper of the peace itself calling you home. You're not arguing with the parasite. You're speaking a more compelling truth to the host. Now, let's project the future, the karma of this. If you continue to feed these platitudes, the path is clear. The polarization will narrow your world to a single bitter enemy. The self-doubt will become a self-fulfilling prophecy of missed opportunities. The distraction will leave you at the end of your life with the haunting question: what the fuck was that? What did I actually do? And the fear of judgment will ensure you live a life that was someone else's idea, a cheap copy of a soul that never dared to be original. It's a slow, comfortable suicide of spirit. But if you choose the upgrade, if you rip out the old wiring and install the new code, the polarization dissolves, and you start to see the same consciousness in everyone you meet. Your relationships become less about conflict and more about co-creation. The self-doubt vanishes, and you begin to trust the quiet voice within, like a master navigator trusts his compass. You make decisions with a clarity that seems like magic to others. The addiction to distraction, it falls away because the quiet space inside you becomes more fascinating than any screen. You start receiving ideas, healing codes, creative transmissions that seem to come from nowhere and everywhere. And the fear of judgment, it becomes fucking irrelevant. Because you're so aligned with your own power and purpose that the chirping of the crowd is just background noise. You become a catalyst. Your mere presence, your coherent energy, it begins to subconsciously upgrade the people around you. You become a walking, talking frequency upgrade for the planet. This isn't theory. This is your design. This is the operator's manual that you are supposed to be given at birth. So let's install it, not as a concept, not as a philosophy, but as your new fucking default setting. And you can just allow your unconscious mind to do the work now. Because you're unconscious. It's the ultimate pattern recognition software. And it already knows how to delete a faulty program and install a clean, powerful, upgraded one. It can be like finding the master control panel for your entire reality, and one by one, flipping the switches from survival to thrive, from doubt to knowing, from fear to frequency. And you might notice a sensation of warmth in the center of your chest, or clarity behind your eyes, or simply a deep, settling sigh from a place inside you that's been waiting for permission to finally take its rightful place at the helm. That's the activation. That's the lion remembering its roar. That's you coming online fully, irreversibly, powerfully. Now go be that. The world isn't waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting for you to be you. So stop fucking around and get on with it.